Hello beautiful people of the world, welcome to my channel. My name is Shea and today we're going to be talking about things to do before your baby arrives. You might be nearing the point of your baby arriving and what do you need to prepare and get ready. So of course there are the obvious things that I will cover just in case, but there are some other things that I haven't seen in any of these videos that I did with my first pregnancy and I'm definitely going to be doing again with this baby. So let's get right into them. So the first one is actually decluttering items in your house. Personally, I like to post them for sale because I can make a little bit of cash right before. When I'm nesting and cleaning the house and getting everything ready for baby, I always go through this weird phase of like decluttering everything and selling it, and it's kind of fun and something for me to do, distracting me from the fact that I'm very uncomfortable and waiting for labor to happen. But honestly, the other part of it is that for me, clutter causes a lot of anxiety and stress. So I like having a clutter-free space and just making those drop-offs, even if you're just decluttering a few items and dropping them off at your local thrift store, donation bin. This can be really helpful, just clearing the home and getting it ready for your new baby to come. So anything you're not using or think that you might want to declutter, I would do it before baby comes, because after they come, you're not really going to be concerned about that stuff. It'll just be in your house cluttered, and that personally for me causes a lot of stress and anxiety, so I just don't want to have to deal with that when I'm having a newborn on my hands. The next tip is buy extra items. Now, obviously the situation's a little different now because of the whole 2020 situation that happened. But personally, before I had my daughter 4 years ago, I went to the grocery store and I bought an extra carton of liquid laundry soap, dish soap, I bought an extra tube of toothpaste, extra body wash, and one extra pack of toilet paper. And why did I do this? No, I was not hoarding for the 2020 situation that was gonna happen 4 years down the road. I did not know that. I was not a mind reader. But what I was doing was I did not want to have to run out to the store with a newborn to get, oh no, we're out of toothpaste, we need to go get a toothpaste. Oh no, you know, we're out of laundry soap, I need to wash the stuff, and then have to haul my baby. And now I have a toddler and I'm gonna have a newborn. So I definitely don't wanna do that, especially in the middle of a global pandemic. So my suggestion before baby comes, whether you're ordering your groceries or you're actually going to the physical store, I would definitely stock up on a couple of those items, even if you just get one extra bottle of toothpaste, one extra bottle of dish detergent. I really think that that is helpful because I didn't have to buy that stuff for the first year after I had my baby. It lasted that long. Not the toilet paper and the toothpaste, but the things like the laundry liquid and the dishwashing liquid was great, and it lasted me a really long time. So that is one of my suggestions for you. My third suggestion is actually making sure you're doing a little bit of a budget, whether you're actually writing it down or just something to take in your mental note. I wanted to mention this, depending where you live, I don't know how your maternity leave situation is. I live in Canada, so the maternity leave is, they do pay you to be on maternity leave, and I will get 18 months off and it is paid. But the money does not come for like the first 6 months sometimes. That's what happened for me with my first pregnancy. The money for maternity leave didn't come for the first 6 months. I live in Canada, the government will actually pay you money as like a child tax benefit when you have your child. So it's like a couple $100s a month sometimes. And that also didn't come in for the first 6 months. So I wasn't working and had no income for the first 6 months. I wanted to bring this up. I don't know how it is where you live, but I wanted to bring it up because you're really gonna wanna budget and think ahead. So whether you're gonna get money right away, nothing's gonna change. Maybe your partner helps if you have a partner, but I wanted to say that you really just want to think, you know, any bills that are coming up. Like for me, I'm having my baby and the next week is my annual bill, a big bill for the water that comes, which is like $1,000 something. And then a couple months later, at the same time I have to pay my taxes, and then I have my property tax bill coming out. So these are big bills that I have to keep in the back of my head, because if I'm not getting income for 6 months, I need to prepare beforehand to be able to do these payments. So I wanted to mention that just so you can have it in your head, even if you don't stick to a strict budget, just kind of thinking ahead on how the situation might work with your finances. And my personal fourth tip is, yes, you're gonna wanna pack a hospital bag for you and your baby and your partner if you have one, or your support person, but I also wanted to mention something ahead of time. If you have other little ones, or maybe you have pets that are gonna be needing to be taken care of while you're gone, make sure you are planning ahead of time. So if you have another little one, like myself, I had a toddler, so I have a couple different people she might go with depending on when I go into labor, and I have a bag packed for her as well in case I need to drop her off at my parents' house or one of my siblings' houses, and they obviously don't have stuff for her like clothing, and so I have a bag packed in case I just need to grab it and go. The last thing I want to do in labor is be ripping around my house trying to find things to pack for my little one, because I just don't think I'm gonna have time for that. So having that ready to go, and even if you don't use it, that's fine, but it's there. Now, if you have pets and things like that, maybe a dog or a cat that's gonna be let out, I don't know if your neighbor can help you or if someone's gonna help you, but either leaving like a list or planning ahead of time of who's going to come and help you. With our first baby, we did not plan this, and my partner at the time had to keep leaving the hospital and go back and forth to let the dog out, and the hospital is like half an hour away. So he would have to leave multiple times a day to let the dog out and take them on a walk and feed them. And honestly, he didn't get to spend as much time with the baby that was just born. And with the pandemic, you might not just be able to leave the hospital and come and go whenever you please. So really think of that ahead of time so that when you're in labor, you're not freaking out trying to take the dog out and all of this stuff. And you just have a plan and you're good to go. You're gonna wanna wash all of your baby items and clothing. Of course, you wanna make sure they're properly cleaned, and then I like to like fold them up and organize them, and that's just the fun nesting process that I'm going through. But definitely giving them a wash, even if they're brand new. I really suggest just washing them and making sure they're clean, because they are gonna go on your newborn baby. My next tip is dusting and wiping those really yucky corners in your house, whether that be on top of like your ceiling fan, or sometimes in the windowsill. They get kind of nasty sometimes and you really want to clean all that stuff. I personally cleaned it. I scrubbed my bathtub tiles, the wall tiles. They were getting kind of gunky, so I pulled the silicone off and I did the re-caulking of it all. Now, you don't have to go that extreme, but the reason I did that was because it was getting really dirty and I didn't want like mildew and moldiness or dustiness all over the room, turning on the fan and it just going all over the baby. So I made sure to get rid of all of that stuff, vacuum it up, spray it nice so it's all perfectly clean for when baby arrives. My house isn't all dusty and having all of this gunk everywhere. So I really did that deep clean of my house, making sure there weren't any dusty spots that were just gonna, you know, accumulate over time. My next tip I actually haven't heard much, and it might be a really weird one, but getting your car detailed or doing it yourself. So the interior of my car, because I have a toddler, is like Snackville. Like if we were stranded on an island with her car seat alone, we would be fine, because the snacks you would find buried in this car seat could last you a lifetime. I'm just kidding, but honestly, well, I'm not really, I'm serious. She has so many snacks in there. It's like a buffet. But we really had to like clean the car seat, and honestly, it's winter, so we have like muddy boots in there. So we just went to the local gas station, paid a couple bucks for those vacuum things, and we just vacuumed out the car. And by we, I mean my partner did it, because, you know, I was exhausted and nearing the end of pregnancy. At the time, I didn't want to fork out the money to actually get my car detailed. I didn't need my seats shampooed or anything, so there wasn't really a point in it. But we did a really good vacuum. I set up a little newborn basket in the car of just little items that would be helpful, like extra diapers and wipes and an extra outfit in case there's like a blowout diaper situation. Maybe you don't have your diaper bag. Whatever happens, you have a little bit of stash in your car, and I just made sure everything was ready to go. The other part of that is you're gonna wanna install your car seat. Now, this is just my suggestion. I did install my other car seat for my first baby while I was in labor, and I regretted it because all I wanted to do was just go to the hospital and not have to fiddle around installing a car seat between contractions. Sterilizing your items, so your pacifiers, your bottles, your pump parts, whatever you're gonna need for a baby, I like to have them ready to go. So I like to sterilize them and have them dry and ready to be used whenever I so choose, because when I have a newborn, I don't wanna have to be like, my newborn's crying and I'm trying to pump, or I'm trying to do this and like running around. That's just chaos for me. So I like to have it done ahead of time. Setting up and testing out your items. So learning how they work before baby's there. I did that with my baby monitor. I also did it with my sound machine. We have a Mama-Roo that we bought, and we wanted to set it up, test it out, and make sure we knew how to use it. Frozen meals. I personally love the fact that I was able to prepare a bunch of freezer meals for myself when I had my baby, because honestly, after I had my baby, I wasn't even thinking about feeding myself. I would always forget to feed myself. And when you're breastfeeding, you're really gonna wanna keep the food intake coming. So I think these freezer meals were really helpful, especially now that I have a toddler. I have to make food. And with that, let's get on to the very last tip. That is a postpartum and breastfeeding basket. So two separate things. I have two washrooms in my house, so I actually have two postpartum baskets. This includes things like a change of underwear. I have my Depends kind of like underwear diaper thing, whatever you want to call them, pads, just change of things so that I don't have to be walking around. I also have a couple nursing pads in my postpartum care baskets, and these sit in the bathroom right by the toilet, so you don't have to fiddle around and make a big mess when you're looking for these things. Second thing is a breastfeeding basket or a little breastfeeding station. I like to have a little basket with like water, a couple snacks. I have my Haka pump. It's like that silicone pump. I have also a burp cloth in there in case the baby spits up. Sometimes I like to stick headphones in there so that I can watch and listen to something while my baby's nursing in the middle of the night. But having these baskets available is really helpful so that you don't have to just get up and try to find these things when you're nursing your baby. Just a hot mess. So I also have those videos up for you, and I will link those right down below if you wanted to check out what is in my postpartum basket and what is in my breastfeeding basket, specifically more into detail. Thank you so much for watching. Congratulations on your little baby, and I wish you all the best in your labor and delivery. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.